Thank you. Next up is Leigh Phillips. Leigh, please come forward.
Leigh Phillips, Independence, Missouri. Council, Mayor, I have noticed several rehab and restored buildings on 23rd Street, 24 Highway, and Truman Road. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for that. It was also notable that members of this council were absent July 1, 2024. I am compelled tonight to talk about the charter. It's not that there is misinformation out there, it's actually the lack of substantive information by the pro-charter group and the council that appears to be the problem. Question 1 begins with, shall we change our charter throughout and Article 15? Shall and throughout are legal terms that mean if question 1 passes, the rest of the questions are moot points. In the city's slide comparison concerning Article 15, now Article 14, with legal counsel of our own, here's what we know. Current language in Article 15, Section 15.2 is where our state protections lie. Section 15.2 is titled Amendment of Charter and says, this charter may be amended in any manner now or hereafter provided by the state constitution. That means that each change must be presented as an amendment with an explanation of the change and include any fiscal impact information if applicable. New language in the updated charter titled Amendment of Charter, among other things, says, this charter may be amended after being submitted to and approved by the registered qualified voters of the City of Independence or in any manner now or hereafter provided by the state constitution. Legally, this means any future changes can simply be presented to the voters without explanation or fiscal impact statements or according to the Constitution. The word or gives a choice on how to amend our charter and eliminates the requirement to follow the state constitution. It literally takes away our state protections. We will be faced with these types of confusing and vague questions forever. Every day we are walking the streets to inform and educate. Citizens are shocked and angry. A citizens oversight group has spent over 1,000 combined hours combing the changes, comparing it to our current charter, while seeking legal advice to make sure we understood the meaning and language of the changes. Each question dangles a shiny object, in this case bolded wording, in front of us, so that we look at that and not the fact that our codified rights and protections are being deleted. Charters can be changed, but those changes cannot take away our codified rights that the voters have already passed, according to the state constitution. We found that each question takes something away from the people. When you look at any of the 5 questions, you may see the bolded change, and it may be something you agree with. The non-bolded wording is mostly confusing, and perhaps you don't quite understand what that means. That's okay. I was very confused when I started this myself. That is what was intended. To be on the safe side, please vote no. We already have a productive charter. To vote no doesn't hurt us, but sends it back to the table for a more comprehensive review and citizens' input. Don't be swayed by distractions. In Article 5, Section 5.1 of our current charter, titled Function of Local Government, we find this job description. Council members, board members, and employees shall accept that the sole function of local government is the efficient provision of facilities and services deemed essential for the kind of urban living desired by the resident population. That job description does not give 20 people the autonomy to hit the go button on rewriting our charter. If you want to remove the wording about dairy farms because it's obsolete, then remove it, but do it legally and according to our state constitution. Changes are to be made one at a time using valid amendments that include an explanation of why it's being changed and any financial impact that change might have. Does anyone see any financial impact statements in any of these questions? These are not proper amendments. We have a right to full transparency. These questions are misleading and dark. When you think about fairness, the Charter Committee had 11 months to do their work. You gave the citizens 2 months. I call shenanigans. If everything was on the up and up, then why not follow the law? There is hope, though.
You have 1 minute.
I encourage all citizens to join together and vote no on all 5 questions. Let's just take a step back and send it back to the table. It doesn't hurt us to defeat all 5 questions. It simply leaves us with our current charter protections provisions that can be amended properly at a later date. Our charter protects our rights, freedoms, and liberties. It has protected our departments and services just fine for over 50 years. It doesn't matter that, quote, it hasn't changed since the Bee Gees were teenagers, end quote, or that, quote, it's too many pages, end quote, or that, quote, it's too old and needs updated language, end quote. We agree, but not in the manner it was done. What matters are the rights of the people who live here. There should be no rush to change it, much less rewrite the entire thing because it's too many pages. I say our charter should be as many pages as necessary to be able to protect the people and hold our government accountable and include the citizens, which they significantly bypassed throughout this process. Tell the government that we, the people, are in charge and that they need to stick within the framework of their job description as defined in Article 5, Section 5.1 of our current charter, and vote no on August 6th. Thank you. God bless.